allegiance. Alina, just one of the top pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the agenda, we have, we need review and adoption of the agenda. I've had a chance to look at it.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Motion's been made. All in favor? We have 3 meeting minutes. Do we need to make 3 separate?
We can do
Do it all in one? Okay. We need approval for minutes for the February 23rd regular meeting minutes, February 23rd closed session minutes, March 11th special meeting minutes. When you're ready, make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Okay, a motion's been made. All in favor?
Yeah.
Okay. Next on our agenda is public comments. And before we start public comments, I just want to mention, the council knows everybody's sentiment on this. We live in town too. We don't want the same concerns that you have, we have too. We've done everything that we can as far as loaning to try to keep the quality of life up where we can, but we're not going to, we're going to say somebody else can override it and do things that we can't do. So, that being said, I want to open up public comments.
And nobody signed up.
Nobody signed up for public
That's
comment? Okay. We'll close public comments then. Okay, number 6, public hearing on the developing community development block grant application for the upcoming year. And you're speaking on that.
I can start
Okay.
that. Yeah, so I'm Kyle Casey with the Western Piedmont Council of Governments, and just here this evening to discuss the first public hearing for community development block grants. I'll read a little bit and then give a little bit more of a description, but just for prosperity's sake, the Town Council of the Town of Hildebran is holding a public hearing in order to receive citizen input in the development of community development block grant applications for the coming year. These applications are submitted to the North Carolina Department of Commerce. CDBG funds may be used for a variety of different activities, including neighborhood revitalization, economic development, infrastructure, community housing, demolition of publicly owned or dilapidated buildings in order to create reusable industrial sites, and disaster recovery, which includes support to help communities deal with recovery from Hurricane Helene. All CDBG projects must be predominantly beneficial to low and moderate income persons in the community. So this public hearing that you all will be holding tonight is the first, which is a requirement for all CDBG applications. This public hearing is good for 1 year. So any applications that the town chooses to make after today through next year, there may be multiple opportunities to apply. This public hearing is not to discuss any specific applications or specific projects at this time, just to state your intent that you may be interested in these funds in the coming days. So there will, like I say, there will probably be multiple opportunities in the next few months, and at that time, if the town submits an application, we'll hold a second public hearing for each of those applications that will be a little more specific, talk about the specific projects. But yeah, again, this one's just general intent to apply, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you all may have.
We need to open the public hearing.
Yes. And I'll sit down.
You need to open the public hearing.
Okay, I open the public hearing. I'm ready to close the public hearing. If there's no comment, we'll close the public hearing. Okay. Number 7 is old business. Review of specifications for lawn care services and snow removal services. Central has provided us with a sample bid document. Everybody had a chance to look over the documents yet? Logan, do you have anything on this? Confused me a little bit, was looking at the example dates and stuff like that. I guess that was misreading a little bit.
Yeah, so this is just a, kind of like a template version of what we do, but essentially the mowing, the spraying, the weed eating, it happens from March each year to about October. So the way it's broken down is we have 3 different sections. Section 1 is what we call the street right-of-way maintenance section. That's gonna be your town streets. Any agreed upon DOT areas that the towns have, their groundskeeper, add to part of that contract. But again, it includes cut and removal of, limbs from trees as needed, pick up, chip, and haul away all trash and debris, including, fallen limbs, accumulated over the winter season, trim shrubbery and prune flowers at the flower bed, adjacent to the town sign, spray shrubbery and flowers and mulch area at town sign flower bed as needed, and then spray herbicide on all fence lines, guardrails, rock dams, signs, etc., in order to enhance maintenance activities and overall appearance of the area. And that is all listed under your project description for attachment A, statement of work details. If you go to the next section that is broken down into, you'll see right-of-way B at the top right. This is for essentially what we've included in this are town properties. So under project description, you'll see Town Hall, Hildebran Auditorium, Hildebran Gym, this building, the Parkhurst building, 210 South Center Street, which is the property we purchased just past the gymnasium, Eastburg Christian Ministries, the area along US Highway 70 from Food Line to Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then additional locations as agreed upon. And an example would be like town entrance sign at CVS, and then a couple small areas in front of Food Line. So those are the 2 main sections. We also have a park section for the Hildebran Community Park. If you will turn to it should say park in the top right-hand corner. Project description is essentially the work that we do up at the park. But once per week during the mowing season, the contractor shall perform mowing and weed trimming of the park, including but not limited to areas around the sidewalks, trees, driveway area, the disc golf course. They're supposed to use the blower to remove any and all debris as a result from mowing around and under equipment at fitness stations, playground equipment, sidewalk, walking trail, pavilion, and depot. And then in the fall, there's a couple things. They perform 1 to 4 bulk removals of leaves. Also in the fall, they perform at least 1 and as many as 2 bulk removal of leaves from the stormwater grades specifically. Then in the spring, they apply appropriate grass seed, fertilizer, and lime at the grass areas around the playground area, dome play area, the center of the roundabout, and the main park entrance. So it's essentially broken up into 3 different sections, and it describes what all they're responsible to do throughout the individual sections of the contract. But if you have questions, we can go through and answer them.
Areas that Gary was going to take care of for us, has that been taken out of that list? Because it looks like you have about everything we have.
Well, so we didn't buy, we cleared the land behind the town hall. That used to be a kudzu field. So when we cleared that, we actually added Steve onto that, but it was a side piece. That was just something we were paying him directly for, not under this contract. So Gary took that over. And then Royal Park, with all the added amenities, stage,
concession stand, walking track, splash pad, playground area. With all of it, it became a different area to mow instead of just a straight cross section. So Gary has taken that over. I don't think that we reduced the contract as part of that, or at least we haven't yet. But in terms of what we were paying for that we're not now, the area behind the town hall where the kudzu field was, that is money that we're no longer spending on groundskeeper to maintain.
I noticed in there, we're talking about flowers, planting flower beds and things like that. Or, I mean, do they plant flowers every year? Is it like an annual flower garden, some kind of perennial thing? Or-
I think
I've never seen any flowers there.
I think you're referring to the
Sign,
are you referring to the park contract or one of the
road, highway. I think there's that sign. If I remember seeing that. Were you talking about the pesticide?
Yeah. It doesn't include like planting, but it includes trimming and spraying. So just for weeds but not planting of new flowers each year.
And did it have in there about, I guess, the mulch for the park up here, but does it say how much? I mean, like, we want a 4-inch cover of mulch rather than a couple shovelfuls of mulch. There needs to be some kind of standard set so everybody can price out.
Well, I can-
4 or 6 inches of mulch is supposed to be.
Yeah, and I believe, Rick, that's actually handled outside the contract as well, correct?
Right.
So the mulch will be outside the contract.
We paid the same person who's under contract, but again, that's not within the scope of the contract. But I can tell you I know it's 200 yards of contract. Of mulch, sorry,
Should we
200
put
yards.
in there approximately 200 yards once a year, twice a year? I guess we do it twice a year, we do it once a year.
We do it once a year in the spring and March. And I will say this, we did bid that out. I don't know if council remembers, it might have been 2022 or 2023. We did bid that out, but we only saved, it's somewhere in the $8,000 to $9,000 range for 200 yards with the current vendor. We bid it out and the other folks were in the 8,000 range, 8,500 range, so there's $500 to $1,000 in savings, but they only provided 100 yards of mulch. So you're getting about half.
Any more questions after that?
What exactly does Gary mow?
Gary, what do you?
Royal Park and Town Hall.
Okay. Not around the auditorium or any of that?
And all the mulch was contained to the interstate exchange and the Hildebran Park. None down here.
Yeah, and there is no mulch. That was something that I was asked. There's no mulch for anything on the town-owned properties under the existing contract. But again, if that's something you want to add to an upcoming contract or a new contract, that's whatever you want, we can add into it. Just know that it would most likely involve over and above your current price.
So we just need to give you the, with the recommendations that we talked about, with the depth and things like that, when we bid that out.
Well, if you're looking to bid it out and change anything, just let me know what you're looking to change. That would need direction on what you want included and don't want included.
We just need to look over it, we'll have more time to send it to you.
If I were gonna bid it out, Alice, you tell me about times and dates, but if you want someone under contract ready to start July 1st, you probably need to have that bid out at the latest today. You need to let us know, because we're gonna have to make changes to it, and we're gonna have to advertise it, bid it out, give whoever wants to come by and look at it probably at least 30 days after. And then we're gonna need time to review them and probably take them around town if it's someone who's not currently doing it, show them the work,
If you're gonna take some of the mowing and stuff out, you
Yeah.
talked about earlier,
It'd be up to council, if you do wanna take some stuff out, but again, we need a recommendation for you all on what to take out and what to put in.
So council basically just needs to look over, make notes of any changes and get it back to you this week, and try to do this week. Is that what we need to do? I mean, it's nothing we did on right now, or vote on right now, correct?
Well, if you did know of the changes, I would make that decision tonight, or maybe call a special meeting.
I think it needs to be added in there if there's small, every time there's a tree down, there's limbs down or something, every time you even talk to him, you've got to, it's additional charge, that's not my contract. Lawn care is lawn care, put mulch out, part of lawn care.
Yeah, sometimes contact $100 or $200.
Yeah,
We just.
and all needs to be included.
So, well, let me clarify, so do you think like having mulch around the town hall, the auditorium, the municipal complex, the gym, are you looking to have more mulch added each year? Because we don't currently have that in the budget or in the contract, but that's something that has been mentioned a couple times. We can have that, or
Well, it's
If
like
you're
up
looking to
in
remove-
the other park, the park up here, a lot of that mulch could be freshened up without having to put all the mulch there, put it out there, it's piling on, and you go up there and watch it, it's washing right away. If they freshen it up, there's no use spending all that money on mulch to wash down the side of the road.
maybe in a new contract, would you want it maybe fluffed in the fall? Just have it kind of fluffed up in the fall, since you're only adding it in the spring.
I would.
And I noticed there was something in there about the fertilize, and seed of the property, but, I don't know, there's no specification on how much, what the rate of application stuff is. You know, it's not like you get one bag or 100 bags. And it all fit in that bid, so probably need a little more definition than that. Okay, so we're just gonna make notes and give it to Logan as quickly as we can, so they can send it out for bid. Is that what we're doing?
I'm pretty serious about that extra $150 rate, all that. No extra money, you get whatever you break, to let you do, you gotta do it.
More definition, we get contracts better. we can-
Well, now, And you asked about Gary and what Gary's mowing. Are you wanting to leave all of the mowing that's in here? Or are you wanting to rework it a little bit? What's the,
He's on the town hall this back here, right?
well, he's mowing the kudzu area and the town, the Royal Park.
That's fine.
Just leave that as is.
Yeah, he can mow like around town hall, around here, around this complex, and then let Royal Park and the interstate be.
The community parking.
Yeah.
So when you say around here, you mean like, do you want him doing all of the, for example, the Town Hall, Hildebran Auditorium, Hildebran Gym, Municipal Complex, 15 South Center Street, East First Christian Ministries?
Whatever he feels he can get done in a week's time, if he can't get to Christian Ministries or something, maybe.
Are we mowing Christian ministry? I thought they had somebody come mow their own.
Well, there's isn't it a
It's
section?
just the immediate, yeah, it's the yard around Christian Ministries. We still mow the kudzu, the back half of the town hall. They take their driveway to the property line.
Whatever Gary feels like he can get done each week, you still have time to work on some other things. I'm not sure how much time it'll take, but you can estimate it. As long as it's not gonna tie you up 9 days a week long. I'm okay with going down all around here.
Consensus.
The gym's the hardest part with the, extra lot that's not clear and the, bank on South Center Street. It takes forever to do that.
I couldn't hear you, Gary.
The extra lot that we have on the south side of the gym and the bank on South Center Street and the gym, that's all it takes longer. Because you have to weed eat all of it.
So take that off, Gary.
Yeah, you can take that off. Just get with him and see what you think you can get done and keep it up weekly. Like get them on weekly. I'm not sure if I saw anything in here about one weekly, one days of the week we want to vote on either. We have a lot of activities like on Saturday and things like that. To come in on Monday, our grass is gonna be tall anyway.
Well,
So maybe we need to.
the Royal Park
contract
down,
out.
yeah, the Royal Park down here, I always make sure it's done before Friday. Closer to Friday than Monday
I
because of
think
the
the other
events.
part needs to be voted before, closer to Friday too,
Yeah.
because that's when all your rentals take place.
Yes. Now, I'm not sure what he's doing, at the park on the hill. I think it's first of the week. But, I do this down here Thursday or Friday.
That works fine for that. But we need to consider that too, the time of the week that we can do it. Okay, so we're just gonna give them recommendations and get it back to them then? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, and change the contract or whatever.
As far as the snow removal services, was there any questions from anybody here? I saw where we had like $2,500 out front each year, then it's just hourly rate after that. Is that good with everybody on council or? Do we need to make any changes on it?
If he don't plow, he don't fucking get paid. I was ground bridge up front. He got $2,500 this year to do nothing.
Uh,
The only thing about that is that we never know when it's gonna snow and the contractor will put somebody in. Then we'll have to wait a while. If we get them a deposit, I'm thinking we would have to give them.
I don't think we'd be paying their insurance or anything up front. They should have their insurance before they pay the contract.
When is Steve's, contract up?
his last day is June 30th.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have to give them some kind of yearly pay because they're gonna fill their time in somewhere else. If they don't have any guarantee with us, then they're gonna find somebody else. So we need to make sure we're on their list. And I noticed in there, we have to respond in 3 hours or 6 hours, whatever it was. So we probably have to do something like that in there. My thoughts.
But if they don't respond, you're money back.
Yeah.
They didn't respond. Last couple of years, they didn't respond.
If they were called, they should respond. I don't know, were they called? But has the snow removal people been called out to do any work the last couple of years?
Well, this year, yes. During the snowstorm, ice storm, I mean,
You're not gonna move anything when you got your blade that far above the ground. I watched it.
Well, we'll need to, I guess, decide how if we want to change the wording on that too, and get back to Logan on that. So you can include it in the bid, but I think it's gonna have to be some kind of annual, it's not to just keep on the list. Otherwise, we may wait till the snow melts before they come up.
They said, wait, this belt, wait, what difference does it make?
Well, I think he ain't got no equipment anyway, it's like all junk. I just don't agree with paying, they don't do that. That's my problem.
Just what,
I
man?
don't agree with paying somebody, they don't do anything.
Well, that's something we want to stop doing that. You just let nature take its place.
That's just my opinion, I
Well-
don't know what the rest of them think.
well, I do think I asked Alice, how many bidders did we have last time? There was a total of 2. So I don't know how much competition or option you have. We can always look, we can always try, but just,
I think we need to try.
There's a lot more of them out there now than there was last year.
Okay, so we're gonna revise the lawn care specifications and the snow removal specifications. That will weigh on that thing. Okay, update on Pavilion Park, Pavilion at Royal Park, that's something you got.
just a couple small updates. We are trying to, we're in the process of getting quotes. Since we've started, we've spoken with 3 contractors total. At the last meeting, council asked about a 60 by 60 at best, a 60 by 50 if you could. After going out to the property and meeting with several of the contractors, a 60 by 45 is probably the best you're gonna be able to get based on the width of it, due to the limitations of, where you have the slight drop off for the water, stormwater, and then the splash pad. At 45 feet, you may be able to get 3 rows of tables. I know that was the biggest concern, is getting 3 rows of tables. You may have to, instead of doing all 8-foot tables, which have the 2 88 spots on the end, you may have to do a row of 6 or maybe 2 rows of 6, just depending on how much space you've got to have between them. But at 45, you could probably get 3 rows, just as a heads up. The costs are a little bit higher if you want to do things like the end caps, the end pieces.
Yeah, the soffit and the gable sides, and guttering.
If you want to do things like that, it's going to increase the price a little bit. If you're going for a full 60 by 45, with grading, with the sidewalks being poured, you're probably closer to 70 to 80,000. Now the first 2 contractors didn't include some of that stuff in their bids or in their price estimates. So what we've done is to also make sure, since it's a public structure that the public will have access to, is we keep a $5,000 line item available for consulting services in our professional fees line item. So I've asked Bach to look into it, to try to get some engineering and architectural plans and to go through the county for building inspections to make sure that whatever we put up meets, like for example, wind. How much wind can it withstand? There's a rating for that, and so just to make sure we're on the same page, and if you wanted to add electrical down the road. So anyway, we actually met with him today. He's looking at that. He's gonna get with an engineer. Once we have everything finalized, I'm hoping to have something in the next week to 2 weeks. And then if we're on it at that point, probably gonna need to call a special meeting if you want that thing built and up and ready to use by late May, the May cruise. But it's gonna be a quick type turnaround.
So you gotta get back to us with quotes and stuff on. We'll move on to, is there any questions for the pavilion council? Any questions, Rick? Good. Moving on to new business, we'll, A is consider approval of Storybook Trail on Royal Park Service Project. I think we have some speakers here for us today.
Good evening, council and staff. My name is Aubrey Sanders and I'm a junior at East Park High School. I am working with Beth Hiley in the Brook River Trail on a service project at Royal Park called Storybook Trail. What is Storybook Trail? Storybook Trail is a statewide program where children's books are deconstructed and placed in pedestals along the trail. Each pedestal has 2 pages of the book, so children and families will be walking along the trail to complete the book. There will be 16 pedestals placed along the trail. How does Storybook Trail benefit the community? As of late 2024, the reading proficiency rate for Burke County schools was approximately 46.3%, which is lower than the North Carolina state average of 50.1%. and western North Carolina's Appalachian counties, which include Burke, nearly 3 out of every 5 adults read below an 8th grade level. Children have remarkable memory and learning abilities, making early literature skills the most effective state for building strong foundational skills. By breaking down books into pages and placing them along a path, these trails promote reading, vocabulary, and listening skills in an engaged way. They promote a healthy, active lifestyle by encouraging children and families to walk and explore nature. The trail offers a low-cost activities for families. How will Storybook Trail benefit the town? Hildebran will be placed on the Story Trails of NC website. Hildebran will be a place that families will seek out to visit, which will increase tourism. It will be a low-cost feature to enhance the park and is ADA accessible. The town can change up the books to match the themes for the monthly story time events and holidays. What is the cost? The total cost of the project to purchase the 16 pedestals is $5,000. Burke River Trail has committed to donating $2,000. I will work with Beth and the town to furnish as much funds as possible. The town will be responsible for any expenses left after the total fundraising has been completed and the cost to replace the books. How will the pedestals be installed? Once the pedestals arrive, there will be a work day with volunteers to help dig holes and install. Beth will be there as well as a few for volunteers. I will also be seeking volunteers to help. I hope to have this project completed prior to the May cruising. In your packet, there is a picture of the pedestals running along the trail. There is also a layout of the proposed location of the pedestals at Royal Park. The town of Valdez already has a storybook trail at their park, and currently the town of Drexel and the town of Rutherford College approved a storybook trail and are fundraising on their own. I am asking permission from the council to approve the project. Thank you for your time and consideration. If you guys have any questions, I will be glad to answer.
Not questions, but I have a concern. I haven't looked at any of the other signs, but over at the soccer park, I don't know if they are still up. But the last time I was over there, the biggest problem I saw with them is, I don't know if they get like fog under them, but you can't read them. So is there a way you can, I don't want the town to have to come and replace that. Is that something you thought about, or?
It's not something I've thought about, but that is a new idea. So I will figure that out and I will get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any more questions?
I think you did a good job. All right, is there any discussion on the council? If not, I guess, everybody ready to make a motion? Make a motion to approve, based on what she gets us about the maintenance of it,
Yes.
approve the trail sign, we'll sort of
Storybook.
I'm fine with it if we can get that resolved, because we don't inform, I don't know how long it took for them to get that way. But if you can't read them, it kind of, yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna help be one of the volunteers in this project, and I was just thinking, as volunteers, we can definitely keep that up. And if we have to bring some Windex spray and spray them down and just make sure that they're clean for everyone, we can totally do that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any motion?
I made a motion, anybody ready for votes? All in favor? All opposed? All right, consider approval of budget amendment for grant funds and donations to Warrior Park to be placed in the project fund. Have something on that later.
Yes, so these are funds that we've already received as revenues. We're not appropriating any new revenues in the sense of having to pay expenditures. This is just a record-keeping budget amendment to reflect the additional sponsorship funds that we received in last fiscal year. In government, if you receive a penny, you have to write down that you received that penny. So it's
As it should be.
administrative, yeah, exactly.
All right, is there any questions from the council? Okay, anybody ready to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay, motion's been made, all in favor? All opposed? Okay. Consider approval of quotes to remove the radiators, and that's in the bottom level of the auditorium. The last month, has everybody had a chance to look at the quote?
I'm assuming this is the only quote we had.
This is Blue Sky. Yes, they are the ones that, Bill Jones mentioned last month that have the, they're currently doing the, demo and potentially the restoration downstairs. This is the company that we asked to do it. We can get more quotes, but since they're down there and it's an active site,
Yeah. And then, about repaint behind the walls, he said he would wash.
yeah, they mentioned that, so what's not reflected in the quote is painting the walls behind. But they feel like with the other work they're doing, that they'll just go ahead and paint the walls behind as part of the contract. With no additional fee.
That's for removal and disposal of the units down there, and then repairing the wall behind it,
And capping the pipes.
capping the pipe.
I'll make a motion to approve the quote to remove the radiators.
Motion made, all in favor? All opposed? All right, discussion of the Christmas tree at Royal Park. What's that?
It's yellow.
Yeah.
You normally like them green, I think most people.
We're gonna Charlie Brown.
We would like for it to be alive.
We tried water. Here's your issue when we, and council member asked me this. We did talk about when we elected to put a Christmas tree there. There was a version of tree, a type of tree that was not gonna live regardless of how the conditions were, just based on the area we live in. So we picked, the one that we ended up picking. The issue was the tree that was there prior. They did tell us there's a possibility it doesn't live. They can try to scrape out some of that, but unless you're willing to spend several $1,000s, maybe $5,000, maybe more, to have some big equipment come through there. I don't know how wide that tree was.
It's a big tree.
Okay, everybody in the room said big all at once, so it's pretty big. It's gonna cost you some money, and I don't know that unless you spend that money, we'll just keep putting the tree back every year. But unless you remove that, I've been told by several people, they don't, that it'll break.
My suggestion would be just to invest in a nice artificial tree and put it up closer to the stage. Because when we had our Christmas thing, festival out there, the East Burke Choir was standing there in front of the tree, and we've got a big old stage up there we could use. And I mean, you couldn't hear them from where they were. So if there was some way to put it near the stage or on the stage and use the stage.
I'm good with that.
We had talked about getting a gazebo where the dead tree is. We could always put a gazebo there and put a tree in the gazebo at Christmas and light it up on
No, a
something.
live one or
No.
artificial one?
It's a big gazebo all the time, except for Christmas and the tree. I like that, too. I like the stage.
You know what?
I like the stage, put it on the stage too.
Yeah, we've got that nice stage. We need to use it as much as we can.
We had a band down there singing, or a group set or choir or something was singing down there, as long as it don't interfere with the, like, Christmas appearances.
I think it'd be fine on the stage, but you got plenty of room.
So do we, the tree that's there now needs to go. Do we want to plant like some kind of ornamental tree or something there, just for decoration or something, maybe a flower bed or something? So, I mean, that's the main entrance for the gym. We need something.
Something decorative.
Yeah, some kind of decorative tree that can stand.
That's very hardy.
It's hardy. We'll just keep the water for a year.
It looks like somebody flip a cigarette, it won't be that long.
Well, that's how we get rid of it.
So as far as the tree, we just, do we need to make a motion?
I like David's idea, buy our piece of tree.
Just out of curiosity, You have a budget on that?
I couldn't hear you, what?
Do you have a potential budget amount that you're, I don't know what we've got to purchase one. We can do that later in a meeting down the road and come back to you. So maybe bring you something back in the next meeting or two, some options.
We got a lot of time.
I don't know, July's pretty close. A lot of people do Christmas in July now.
We're not gonna do Christmas in
That'd be a good time to buy one sometime.
It's too hot.
Okay, so the consensus, I guess, is to do artificial tree on the stage.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're gonna bring us prices on the ornamental trees right here, right? Go over that, okay. Okay. Reports and committees, March facilities report. Is there any questions, anybody have any questions or comments?
I'm just curious about what's happening with those toilet seats. They had to repair 4 toilet seats. What's up with
It
that?
didn't cost us anything.
Do what?
It didn't cost you either. They were just falling off.
Okay.
If you ever go up there, you'd understand.
Okay.
February tax report, in the pack, anybody got any questions, comments? The February deputies report, it's in the packet, does anybody have any questions or comments for that? Okay. The events committee report, it's in the packet. Is there any questions or comments on that?
No, but I would like to say you're doing a really good job. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
The committee reports, technical coordinating committee,
We meet in 2 days, Wednesday at 1 o'clock.
okay, transportation advisory committee,
That's after the meeting.
same thing. Western Piedmont, Council of Government Policy Board delegation,
That's tomorrow, I'll be going there.
you know, tomorrow. Okay. Work development,
BDI discussed, well, they passed their minutes, but they also discussed their February financials. They had a housing update, some discussion based on current pricing, and then the Burke Business Park. Other than that, that was all.
recreation, tourism,
Yep.
water resource committee. VDAC,
Betty met on February the 28th at the Old Rock School. The meeting was called to order by Chairperson Marlon Thomas. Dan Boggs of Boggs, Crump, and Brown PAs conducted an annual review of VEDIC's financial statements ending June 30th, 2025 and 2024. He also reviewed the compliance report for the 2025, and he reported everything was in good order. Kerry reported on the grant from the Rural Assistance Program of $175,000 to VEDIC. VEDIC can pull those funds down at $10,000 a time to help businesses. She also shared that their RMAP reporting was up to date. Eddie gave a delinquent report and technical assistance report with no issues. The new loan application was discussed that will be brought to the committee in the next board meeting. The next board meeting is Thursday, March the 26th at the Valdez Town Hall.
and the Burke County Library Board. Okay, item 10, other business. I have other business.
Setting a budget retreat, depending on when the council's wanting to meet on it, we were thinking either mid-April or the first week in May. I think it was the 4th, 6th, or 11th in May. That would give us time to meet and then have you a first reading in during our May meeting. We could possibly get something together by mid-April, but it would be a little bit, it'd be a quicker discussion, quicker review, more of an overview, but it's up to council and when you're looking to meet.
Probably the sooner the better. April would be fine.
We're just planning for one budget meeting right now.
Would Wednesday, April 15th?
That's bad.
I don't like taxes, but you know, a lot of people don't.
Starting late, like 5:30, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
5:30, 6 o'clock on Wednesday the 15th.
Maybe we, yeah, figure maybe 5:30 is all.
5:30. Where does council want to meet?
I'm not sure if it would fall under other business, but can we start working on some type of way to put water monitors? If we're gonna spend that much money to get the museum fixed back up, put water alarms somewhere through there, maybe especially in the band room where it's such low level. And the water alarms will activate our phones, let us know if there's an issue. It'll activate your phone, my phone, we can do it whatever we want, but they're water monitors.
Essentially, yes. I was about to say, essentially if you have an unusual amount of water coming through, it's gonna alert somebody or kick it off, one of the two.
Maybe you can look into it for us and get some information on it, because it's not a bad idea. It's just like nobody's in there every day.
Back to the special meeting, we do have to have a location. Do you want me to see if we can use the community center, and then if that's not available, then here? The only other place would be the depot or our meeting room at town hall. But we do have to, by law, we have to have.
Anywhere you can get it.
All right, community center first, and then
Maybe the conference room.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Just a quick note, if anybody's here about the data center, I don't know if Logan or Jared would want to give a little information about the what we passed as far as ordinances. Unfortunately, towns have been limited because of the General Assembly passing HB 382. The towns can't tell certain businesses that they can't come into town. So we have passed ordinances to do what we can, but from researching it, it seems like a lot of success has been because of residents getting together and letting people know about this. Maybe, I'm not giving advice, but maybe getting a petition up and writing your representatives, your congressman, your representative, the House Speaker, the representative for this area lives in Valdez. His name is Hugh Blackwell, and he should be concerned about what's happening in his backyard. So I would recommend those steps to possibly have an outcome that other than what looks like might happen.
We're taking about every measure that we can take legally. So if it comes to push aside, we're gonna have to have a process. Okay. Any other
Do you,
business?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the formalities here, but do you have to be, can it just be a neighboring, like, county? Do you have to live in this county I mean, this feels like my backyard, you know? So I feel very,
In other words,
convicted about it.
you live in Catawba County.
I live in Catawba County. Yeah, I live in Bell. So, but my family, my family's family, you know, they're everywhere in this county, in Burke County. So I have come here to the cruise-ins, to the car shows. I could live here at any time, but not if that's gonna be happening.
I think the effects, the possible effects of something like that is gonna reach outside of.
Oh,
our
yeah.
realm. I don't think it's
Far
gonna be limited
reaching.
to
Far
family
reaching.
members. I don't see why, you know, if you're thinking about the river, I don't know why that would be looked down on. So, I mean, this is our backyard. You know,
Yes.
we live here, we live near, you know, we're all gonna be affected by this.
I know.
It's several miles, I can't remember, if I could affect it, several miles radiate between
Oh,
in
yeah.
that area, so it's, yeah.
Do we know a time frame of when they are looking to put this data centers in this area, or?
Dave, Lady might answer this better, but I don't think they have an application for it yet. They've sent a letter requesting some information, but they haven't put an application in yet. Is that where we're at, Logan?
We currently don't have a zoning application. We don't have any, based on our ordinance, they have to get utility capacity for water, sewer, and electric. They have to get us analysis for that. They have to, provide a sound study. There's a lot of things they have to do as part of their application. That would have to go to the planning board and the town council for recommendation and approval, but we've not received anything like that yet.
It's very preliminary at this point, or?
Well, they've purchased 2 pieces of land.
Okay.
So,
And who is they again, Logan?
the company that owns the land, I believe, is, DigiPowerX or DigiHost.
How big are the pieces of land? Do you know, like,
Just off the top of my head, don't hold me to it, roughly 20 acres apiece.
okay.
And the town did not sell those properties. There was a private sale. We found out about it after it was recorded.
And those properties are near Klein Park,
They are in Klein Park.
in Klein Park.
Yes, ma'am.
Make
So
sure I have the right
it's gonna radiate, you know,
Oh, yeah.
circle all the way around us.
The one property you can see from the food line parking lot is really the railroad tracks is where it starts. It goes all, backs up all the way to the platform.
We've made every effort we can right now, and especially since we don't have an application, we don't have anything to work on. We just try to fit in as much as we can, do as much as we can.
So probably if we can get petitions or things like that, it's gonna be a better deterrent at this stage of the game.
I think so.
Okay.
It probably wouldn't hurt to share it with even the county commissioner's office all the way up to Raleigh, because we're limited what we can do. Is there any other comments or any other business we need to discuss?
I'll ask a question. My mother lives right over in Hildebran, and I was just wondering about, it has nothing to do with data center or anything, but like her water bill. She didn't receive her water bill till days before it was due. And she was, she's 87 years old. She writes a check. She don't have internet. She don't have a cell phone. You know what I mean?
Who handles that?
And I just wondered, is there any way that the town can, I know Hickory, I understand now, does the water for town of Hildebran, like Upper Township Water, does it go through a business in Hickory now? Or I didn't know if there was some way that we could get.
Akron Township handles it all.
I just wondered why, the bills are not being sent out with, a 5-day or something like that because
Good
of.
question.
Does
That's a
Hickory,
question
does
for them,
Ivers Water,
We don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, I know that Icor Township, I understood that, a source in Hickory actually.
Hickory owns the sewer system.
does the
Okay.
sewer
Through the Icor Township.
But Icor Township water is under, okay, I was wondering if it was something that the town could maybe see what's going on as far as getting bills out.
so our understanding is Icor Water sends out those bills, so if you wanted to call Icor Water Corporation,
Okay,
that would probably be the place to start.
okay.
Any other business we need to discuss or any other questions we need to try to address? We good? All right, we're down to announcements. Does anybody have any announcements? Okay. And our last item is the adjournment. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion's been made. All in favor? All right. Thank you.
Voted on this.